April 10th, beautiful, gorgeous day, praise God, just absolutely wonderful. Spring came to the mountain yesterday, actually.
Yeah, so did the
It
wind.
seems like it, everything's starting to bud out and bloom, and birds are flying over, actually. They're vultures, but
Nice.
still, it's just absolutely beautiful today.
Except for the flesh-eating
I'm gonna
birds.
climb up the mountain in a little bit and
Don't sweat it.
get some photos of some flowers that are up there.
Once again, welcome back to Ray's A-Frame Adventure. Episode 24. Yeah, 24, that's it. Are you sure? Pretty sure. The vultures got me a little rattled.
Finally getting the wood trim up in the loft area. I had the ceiling down earlier, but wanted to get the trim up around the walls, kind of cover the insulation. Finally had to cut out my outlet boxes there. Put some support behind there. Here is the wiring and for the AC unit, which is going to hang here.
Refrigeration lines, actually.
And cutting all the pieces here to go up the angle. And what I decided to do, just go ahead and cut them. Each one is 2 inches longer than the previous one, rather than trying to figure the whole angle out at once and cut all those pieces individually. Since I'm just cutting them here with my portable circular saw, it's just easier to go ahead and just cut them square, and then later on come back and just trim them all off. As you can see here, I started up here, so chalked a line from top to bottom at the angle and just cut it all at one time, which makes it a lot easier. I finished the ceiling up here, putting the rest of those up there. I'll get this whole side to do here. Took me about an hour to clean up enough space here to
Maid service is
get
horrible
around
here.
the stairs and set the scaffolding up. And, yeah,
Oh boy, here we go again.
Sure, seems perfectly safe.
Danger, Will Raymondson.
Let's get started.
Stop.
April 11th, and finished up the, I don't want to say the tongue and groove pine. Yes, the tongue and groove pine there on the wall.
Did we have breakfast
going all the way
yet?
up inside the A-frame.
Yes.
And I had some scrap left over after doing this dimension from here to here.
I've got brain
And so
fog.
I used the scrap length, because this comes in 12-foot pieces. So I used the scrap and then went along underneath the this wall here. Rather than going horizontal, which would have been more new pieces, I had a lot of scrap material left over, which worked. So I'm going vertical with that on this way, which it's so broken up, it's not going to matter. Plus, I think it's a nice change instead of all of the horizontal lines. So it's a good use of wood.
I always say,
And
waste not,
it's
want
another
not.
just absolutely gorgeous day outside.
You do, huh?
Beautiful spring day.
Yep.
Okay, got the back wall pretty much done in the back bedroom here. The siding there on the interior of the A-frame. And I've got to fill in the gaps up on top here. So what I'm doing is climbing up the ladder. Besides that, I've got to create a piece that'll fit inside of here with the tongue and groove, and it's got to be in 2 pieces, and then I'll nail that up in there. But I've got to cut out for the logs. I'm going to leave the bolts exposed, probably paint those black at some point in the future.
I'm holding my breath. I wouldn't.
What I've done is just taken some scrap wood and started just holding it up here and getting a measurement kind of where things fit, and freehanding an arc there for the log, and then cutting it out with the jigsaw, and just kind of a trial and error method. As you can see here, I've got, this is going over here. It's going to sit level like that, so I've got to cut a little bit more off of that. Then once that's done, I'm going to transfer it onto a piece that's the right length in between here and here, that right length. And I can't fit a longboard because I've got these bolts in the way, so I'm going to have to piece it behind the bolts. So I'm going to just take it and transfer it to this board here, which is the correct length. And then I'll just transfer my guides here. Cut those out with the jigsaw, and then just by trial and error, back and forth, a little bit here, a little bit there, we should be able to get it to fit up there. April 16th, good Monday morning. Thought the weather was warming up the past few days, but it's actually snowing this morning. Unbelievable. A bit chilly.
Yeah, my peanut butter's frozen.
So in order to have a vanity in my bathroom there, if you remember, it's got the gray tiles. They look like wood, old wood. I went to a southeastern salvage place and got these 2 nightstands here and a slab of, it's like a kind of a rough cement looking stone. And then my stone bowl that I had bought there as well. So I'm going to make a vessel sink, and I think I'm going to cut these 2 down, put them on top of each other so I have some drawers in them, and then be able to put the vessel sink on top of the flat cement area there for that stone. We'll see how that comes out.
I'm not seeing it. Hang in there.
Okay, first step is, after using my battery operated skill saw here, I've cut the legs off the first part, and we'll see how that goes together, but that was the first part.
Step 1, ruin a perfectly good nightstand. Hey,
Hopefully this plan works, so we'll see.
just wait.
April 17th, beautiful morning. Snow yesterday, and today it's supposed to get up to 70 degrees.
Woohoo! Let's go swimming. It's not that warm yet. Well, at least my peanut butter's thawed out.
Good morning, Lord.
Besides, we still got work to do.
Thank you for the beautiful day.
Rats.
Amen. Here is the vanity that's going to be in the upstairs area and the loft. I kind of did the same thing. I bought a unit and then cut it in half and rearranged the pieces so the shelf was at the bottom, or excuse me, the drawer was at the bottom and the shelf area is at the top. That way I can get the plumbing underneath here again. And it was the same gray color as the other thing, so I took a belt sander to it and just belt sanded off, roughly belt sanded off a lot of the stain.
Here's the process.
All right, I'm getting ready to join these two pieces together for the vanities, and that's going to set up on top of there. What I did is I took the jigsaw there with a metal blade on it and cut some threaded rod down to 4 inches and drilled holes with 2 inches deep into the wood, and then put the metal rod in there, and the other unit will have holes drilled on the bottom of it, and it'll come up here and stack on top. And I've got some 2-part epoxy glue that I'm also going to, like a 5-minute setup that I'm going to drop in here too as we put those pieces together, so that should hold up really good. I should also mention that the holes drilled here are slightly smaller than the actual threaded rod, so when the threaded rod goes in there, it's never coming out. And hopefully I won't split the wood as I put them in. And then I've got to pound on the top also to get that to set in there. So the holes on this side underneath here, I'll probably drill a little bit bigger so they'll fit just a little looser, and then the epoxy will hold everything in there. Here's the 2 vanity units ready to be assembled here. So you can see I've got the threaded rods in there, and I'm just going to put a little dab of epoxy on between those joints and then hammer them together. Although I'll be perfectly honest with you, that thing goes down with those threaded rods and you're never getting it apart anyway, so I don't think it's gonna be a problem. But you can see there the units without the drawers in it. I decided to go with this. It's a 2-part epoxy, a 5-minute epoxy setup time, but there's no mixing. These got these 2 cylinders here, and they come down and they mix automatically, and then it comes out of the tube, which is really nice. There's no mixing on a piece of paper or a palette or anything beforehand and getting it all over. So I'll just be able to squeeze that right onto the little areas. So that should work great.
Let's hope it does.
So I have the nightstand all stained up, cut down, I should say, and then stained back up. And it looks good with the bowl.
There, not too shabby. Shabby chic, baby.
Ended up using a, let's see, Minwax polyurethane clear and a Varathane 1-hour stain, which worked good. It gave me that nice red color. It was gray before, but now it's kind of a nice red tone. Which I really like. That's exactly what I was looking for.
I wanted it to match the orange colors in the bowl.
Okay, I'm getting ready to drill the hole in the countertop, and I bought this...
Stop. Why is the video upside down? I don't know. That's the way you took it with your phone. Can we fix it? Do I get a raise? How about a Chick-fil-A strawberry milkshake? With whipped cream? Of course. And a cherry? Yes. Your wish is my command.
It's kind of like really cement, almost like a porcelain tile in a way, but it's a rough texture that I'm going to use for the top of one of the vanities. And we've got a diamond hole saw here that's going to drill the hole for the faucet. And bought this kit, saw it online there on a YouTube video.
You watch YouTube?
And
yes.
What this does is just, it's got a self-adhesive strip here, just peel off.
Cheater.
And then you stick this down over where the hole's going to be, fill it with some water, and then that keeps the diamond bit cool and clear as it's drilling through the material. So we're going to try it. Although this isn't granite, but it is more of like a composite concrete stone. So we'll see how this works. Okay, I've got it filled about halfway with water here. I'm going to drill freehand here as we do it. This guide's going to hold the water in there, but it's also going to help hold the drill in place when it goes. So we're just going to do this, and I won't bore you with the process, but plus I probably need 2 hands to make sure I'm doing it straight. So we'll check back here in a minute.
I'm bored.
Or not. Well, as you can see, we have a slight problem here.
Really?
It drilled through the material pretty good. But as I got close to the end, and probably because I'm sitting up on 2x4s in this deck, it's not quite level. Plus this being more of a cement material versus a granite or marble, and it did just crack it. This material is really cheap. It's like $1 something a square foot. So I've got a few dollars here, that's it. And anyway, wanted to try it and see how it worked. I might get another piece and see if I can make that work again and give it a shot with better support underneath it. If not, I'll have to go to a different material. Okay, we're going to try this again, second try. on a different piece of stone. I mean, it's the same thing, same kind of tile setup here. This time I've got a more of a flat surface here inside the cabin, so it's not any movement at all. I think that'll be good. And then also I'm just going to drill really slow and not put much pressure on it.
Should I edit out the last try?
How it goes.
No, failures can lead to success.
All right, that was successful.
See?
Went through good. I just took my time, and it went through nice. Didn't use a lot of pressure this time. Went slightly back for a little bit just to kind of grind the hole as I went, but no pressure, and everything looks good. It didn't crack, so we're going to use this one.
Good job.
I've got to also drill out another one right here for the drain. This is for the tall sink here. Excuse me, the faucet, and then the drain hole for the actual vessel bowl going over here.
You got this now.
Okay, so I have the hole drilled for the faucet to come up. Now I'm going to drill a hole for the drain, which actually needs to be a little bit bigger because of the way the bowl is. The bowl's got a pretty good sized hole, but I'm going to have to come up all the way through this to screw onto the bowl. We'll explain about that later. But I had to create I created a little dam here with a plastic cup and some plumber's putty this time, since I don't have a unit that's designed for it. So we're going to see if it holds water here. Let's see if we can. Okay, looks like it's holding water pretty well, so that should work. And this bit has actually got, this drill bit's actually got a little point there, little diamond bit of starter point to keep it on track so it doesn't shift around as much. And it's a much larger diameter, like 2.5 inches. All right, let's see if this works without hopefully cracking it. Well, it looks like that worked. After about halfway through, though, I realized that this centering pin here was hitting at this point here. It wasn't going any further down in there. So I had to remove this. There's a little hex nut screw there or whatever to remove that. And once I went through and it's all the way through now, then all the water drained out. So clearly I'm through. So it looked like everything worked great. Because of the rough texture of the cement slab stone that I'm using here, it was really rough. And I like the rough texture, but I didn't like the fact that it felt like sandpaper. So I took my angle grinder with a like a sanding disc on there that's used for metal, and just kind of took it and just lightly buffed over the top of it, and then buffed the edges to make them soft here around the edges, and it worked out really good. Now it feels good to the touch. Still has a great stone feel to it, look to it, but definitely a lot softer to the touch. Okay, I have the holes drilled in my countertop and the stone slab. Now I've got to drill them in the base of the Vanity unit that matches up, and using the hole saw bits here for wood, and they're not deep enough really to go through the thickness of the top here all at once. So I've got to go down about halfway, then chisel out some material, and then drill the rest of the way there. As you can see, this one's all the way through. April 20th, beautiful morning. Probably about 50 degrees outside now, sunny, absolutely gorgeous. Decided to put a little sealer on the stone countertop here before I assemble it for the Vanity. And same thing with the bowl, the stone bowl, and the backside of the stone bowl. Just wanted to put a little bit of a sealer on there, and that way it'll kind of keep moisture and stuff off of it. I may wax it in the future, but right now that's what I'm going to do. I'm getting ready to put the top on the Vanity here, the stone top, and I'm putting down a bead of, iron grip silicone adhesive. And that should hold it, and I've got around where the drain is, and then around where the sink is, or the faucet, excuse me. Boy, I can't talk today. Alright, so there it is. Have the top siliconed on, and I'm really liking the stone after that sealer went on there. You know, it's just kind of got a nice natural finish to it, and at about $1.50 a square foot, it's 20 times less than granite.
It's actually a concrete paver.
I've cut the unit down here, and I've made 2 units out of it. Take the 2 units rather, and I've kind of cut them the way I want. So I've got some spacing underneath here for the plumbing to come down and make the turn and then go down the back. Hopefully, we'll have to talk to the plumber and see how that works. But I'll have the bowl sink up here, and then I've got the cement top there. So I think that's going to work out good. It'll give enough space. Even the drawers are actually a little shallow as far as their depth, so they've got some space in the back there where the plumbing can actually go down behind them. So I think this is going to work out great.
I filmed this part before I
drilled a little bit more
holes.
money than what I want to spend, but overall it's very unique. Well, that's not especially fun, having to use the bathroom outside when it's snowing this morning. Okay, that was probably a little TMI there.
Oh boy, see you next time, campers.